Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Friday. This is Jason Flame, host of the Master Motivation Podcast. And today, guys, I am super honored and super excited to have this guest. And a quick shout out to Master Karen Shepard for making this possible and introducing me to our guest and having him on today. But this is Eric Lee, who was born in Canton, China. His father studied martial arts, and Eric would watch him train. And this inspired him at the early age of 3 years old. Eric later began his formal martial arts training under Chung Ball, and ultimately with Grandmaster Al Dacascos. Eric was blessed to study with some of the very best martial artists in the world. Master Eric Lee trained in both Northern and Southern Shaolin Kungfu. He excelled in the field of martial arts and is credited with winning more national and international awards than any other martial artist in the United States. He has been featured in almost every martial arts magazine in the world. And after retiring from competition, Grandmaster Lee continues to distinguish himself in the field of martial arts instruction and in the entertainment industry. He also carries on the tradition of his family and his father by teaching Chinese health exercises. Grandmaster Lee continues to distinguish himself in the world of martial arts with both his experience and his accomplishments. Thank you, sir, so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so honored.
Well, it's going to be great to share some time with you today. I believe that we were in the same room at the same time at an event for Cecil Peoples just a couple weeks back, and I didn't even get a chance to say hello then. But now we get to share this next little while together, talking about your experience and your story. You've got a lot going on and a lot to talk about. I would love to know more about just, your background and growing up and about your father inspiring you for martial arts.
Okay. Yes, my father was a martial artist. He studied a style called Choi Lei Fat. It's actually 3 styles combined together. It's Choi style, Lee style, and Buddhist style. It's called Choi Lei Fat. It's a Southern style. And I was watching him work out, and I didn't start yet because I'm 76 now. Okay. But I don't feel I am my age, So my grandmother also took me to the Chinese opera. They have what they call stage Kung Fu. And then I was born in China. And then I got really inspired by watching Kung Fu movie in Hong Kong. Later on, I went to Hong Kong when I was 8. I was born in Fucheng, China, Canton. And I was 8 years old when I went to Hong Kong. Actually, then I see American actors like John Wayne and the black and white movie. Sekin, the man who played at the Into the Dragon, he always played the bad guy, but in reality, he's a really good guy. Mm-hmm. And then the opposite is Quan Tak Hing. I happened to met him in the San Francisco Civic Center. He was over 100 years old that time. So I was really honored to meet him because he was my hero way before everybody else. And I don't know if you ever heard of Wong Fei Hong. That is Jackie Chan, Jet Li, all these guys, all these fine actors. They portray the character. And then also I in America, I met somebody named Lam Gao. He was a movie actor. Action actor, 1950, but I met him when he was 83. He's gone now, and I got inspired by all this. And then Bruce Lee later on, but I study every style that's available. Everybody had their own favorite. I have my own favorite. You have your own favorite, but all of them are good, and everything has to offer. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to talk. You have a lot of questions.
No, that's okay. It's just great to hear about, someone like yourself who has, decades of experience in martial arts and have trained and worked with so many different people. When you were young, when you were, 8 years old, you were inspired to do martial arts because you watched people do martial arts. What kept you training, and what really inspired you to continue from there?
Well, as a young kid in Hong Kong, China, I didn't train, but I watched my father. When I was in Hong Kong, I seen all these Kung Fu movie actors. I said, so aesthetic, so much power. How can you do that? I want to be just like them. And then I was watching a Western movie like John Wayne, a lot of Kung Fu movie, and I got really inspired. It's like Coca-Cola, Mickey Mouse in America. It's, that's my thing. But I was a swimmer, a runner, and also I play soccer. You know, I always had a lot of endurance. I still do. And then so anyway, that was the beginning. But I didn't take martial arts seriously until I got to 14 years old. I was in a place. It's called Managua, Nicaragua, in Central America. I went there and stayed there for a while. And this gentleman, his name Seafood Clinton Fong. He does white crane style, and I have a lot of experience. It's all in my book. I'm gonna, if you get my book, and it's from Amazon, The Journey of an Artist. It tells you all some of the experience, many of the experience I have experienced to inspire me to do what I have to do.
So you started training exactly when? When did you actually start training? When you were 3?
Well, no, I was serious training when I was 14.
Okay, so you just kind of dabbled and watched your dad do martial arts as a young child, but at 14 you got serious. And
yeah, you
and
know
now,
why?
go ahead.
All of us have reason to train hard. I was hit by somebody. They hit me on the neck and chopped me on the neck, and that's I said I want to hurt the guy. I want a revenge. When I was a young guy. Now, unfortunately, that's so many years later. I just want to appreciate the guy that motivate me to train hard. So anyway, I was in I like everything, basically. I like all style judo. I train with Professor J. I train jiu-jitsu with a little bit with Jean LaBelle, and I did judo, and I did taekwondo, Shaolin, Northern style, Wing Chun, all kinds of things. I believe anything you can learn is good. There's no such thing as a style to me. I like everything.
Right. And now you talked about learning the different systems, different styles in different places, right? You were born in Canton, you moved to Hong Kong, and then you were talking about Nicaragua. So give me kind of a timeline of the different areas, different places that you lived, and when did you come to the United States?
1960, I think 1962. 62, that's a long time ago. But I did a China tour, went back to China many times, Hong Kong and Hawaii. So I travel to Europe, and then I live in Canada also. So every place I go, I find martial art movement. So I was fanatic into it. So I just like everything, all style, anything move. But main thing is I want to learn how to do self-defense. And since I got chopped on my neck, and that's big bully, and I went to study with many teachers. I live in Oakland, California. Before, when I first from Central America, I went to Oakland. Oakland for me is tough, a lot of action, and so for a little guy, I weigh 158 pounds. That's all. And I have to be able to defend myself if I have to, and that's how I started. And then I was teaching in YWCA, and CrossFit was the same guy what Bruce Lee fought, Wong Jack Man. But he's not a bad guy. He just happened, he's gone now, unfortunately. And then also Bruce Lee is gone too. Bruce Lee was in Oakland also when I was in Oakland.
Wow.
It's interesting, very interesting.
But no connection.
Yeah, a few thousand years ago, we might be related.
Got it.
Yeah, there are a lot of Lees, the American Lee, Korean Lee, Chinese Lee, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So many Lees.
Oakland is home to my favorite football team, the Raiders. Well, at least they used to be in Oakland. Now they're in Las Vegas, but I still think of them as the Oakland Raiders. Now, tell me what that time was like in the early '60s as a young man. Coming to America, living in a rougher area. Tell me more about that.
Okay, Oakland, it's interesting things, and there's a place called Lake Merritt. I used to run and there, and I saw a lot of gangsters there when I was there, and Hell's Angel, all kinds of things in that area. And then it was very peaceful actually, and there are like hardly any guns, so everybody knifing, and then Oakland is full of action. So depending how you look at it, and then my grandfather was in Oakland, and we have a restaurant, was very famous restaurant called Lun Key Restaurant, where a lot of great time martial artists like Ed Parker, Adriano Imperado, many people has been eat there before. And then I used to promote martial arts tournament with Sid Campbell, and then we promote martial arts luau, and also we promote in Oakland Coliseum. We promote a big event. Wow. 14,000 people show up, and the Beijing Wushu team, all star. We have 7 lion dance come up, and everybody hold a banner, and everybody got a few minutes to show and display their art. So that was 1980.
Wow.
And it was incredible. We have a fire burner. We have March Fong Yu, the Secretary of the State, and we have the mayor of Oakland. We have relay all the way to the Coliseum, and ladies and gentlemen, let the tournament begin. That is supposed to be the big one of the speech of Into the Dragon, except Sekin during that time he didn't speak English. The voice was from Ki Lu, Master Po from Kungfu series.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I worked with him. We did a movie called The Cold King and the Blue Eye, long time ago.
Now tell me about your involvement in tournaments. You obviously competed a lot, and what got you into competition?
Okay. Well, I learned first of all, I learned a lot of traditional form and things like that. And then in 1967, I believe, and then I want to learn how to fight because I want to be good at what I do. And then I saw many instructors before him. His name is Al Dacascos, and he did what they call multi-man attack at President Fair in 1967, I believe. And then next day I went to sign up with him because all the other teacher, with all due respect, they taught me a lot. And but I don't want to learn how to move, to fight. And so that's my beginning. So next day I went to sign up with him, and then he was open-minded. He's one of the very few people actually go to the tournament. And then I didn't know what tournament's all about. I went to tournament and compete. And first time compete, actually I was only a green belt. And then but they put on a black belt with me, and I went to compete. And then I took 6 trophies in one day. So that was exciting. That was California State Karate Championship. This man was hard to beat. He was dominated the whole California at that time, and his name is Johnny Perraro. And unfortunately, he died. And we compete 6 times, and then I fought. I did weapon. I did form, and then the reason I won because unfortunately he ran out of gas in 6 times. I still had win. So I won that. So I was, I trained very hard to get my endurance because I was a runner, play sports, and then swimmer, and also play soccer. So I have tremendous endurance. I still do.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And so you actually competed in all the divisions, forms, weapons, sparring. You did all of that. Did you start to narrow it down and put more focus on the traditional forms as you went on?
I like everything, but as you know, in those days were point fighting. They were not complete. They were just hit somebody, touch without hitting them, and so it's a point fighting. So it's not real. It's not like there's rule. Anything with a rule is not complete to me. So I went, and then I went to form, and because I know form, and I was small, and I'm 5'6", 158 pounds. So I compete form. I would say I trained very hard. I did a lot of research before, and how to get maximum power, what to eat, what you eat, how do you get showmanship, how do you get most charisma, and how do you get rid of your nervous, and how do you interact with the competitor and your judge, and how do you use also give the energy to the audience. So I did a lot of research and I visualized everything in my head. And so I fortunately, and that helped me quite a bit. And so I can talk about it now because I'm not competing.
Well, and I was just going to ask, tell me, give me some insight as to some of the things that, as you researched and you studied, and the things that you learned with your experience. What were some of the keys to your success?
Well, number one, when you get on the stage, you already have a lot of confidence because you're mentally you visualize you're going to win already. And so I normally go at the last because I want to see what my competitors ability. And in my mind, I say, I can do this. I don't get intimidated. If I was thinking, oh, this guy kicked better than me, I just lost for 15%. So when the guy, male mostly competing, and then in my days, and then I see that he's pretty good, and then I say, I can do better. So I have that confidence. It's not egotistic. It's just psychologically, I don't want to feel that I'm down and he's better than anybody. So I look at everything like a sport. That's all is to it, and I always been very friendly to my competitor, and then that's and I was friendly to everybody. And then I want to, one of the things is you have to know your stuff back and forth. You can do it back and forth. So, and then you have to know your competitor. You have to have edge over them psychologically, physically. Of course, you have to know your stuff, and then when you get on the stage, the image and charisma is very important. As I look at people like some of the great performers, like Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, they were original. Okay, nobody was doing the same thing they do. And for me, I look at them, and matter of fact, we did something with Michael a long time ago. He used to follow my career, Michael Jackson. And then, of course, I didn't know Elvis Presley. And when I look at him, he's original. His technique is original. So what I'm thinking is you have to be original. So what I'm trying to do is try to be original. And when I went to the tournament at the first time, all the people looking us, because I was wearing pajama, Kungfu uniform. They call it pajama, but for me, it's just uniform. I go to a restaurant. Sometimes I sleep on it. I compete with it. It doesn't really matter. It's just a clothing to cover up. That's all. So when I was watching, when I start competing, I think I start competing around 68, 69. But the golden age of the martial art tournament in America is really early 70s. Now, I did not put myself as king of kata. It was somebody else. Some writer gave me that name. I stuck with it. I didn't call myself that. So I just want to clarify, I'm not putting myself any title. I just let somebody write it. Yeah, sure, I've been in the 45, 50 magazine covers, but that's the past, But now I'm older, but I don't believe in so I keep, I stay in shape. Not only there are two kinds of diet. Can I talk about that?
Yes, please.
Okay. Two kinds of diet. What you eat, put in your body. The other one is what you think every day. Okay. If you think this is bad and that is bad food for your mind. Okay. You think that's positive. It's like putting a flower, think good thoughts, sunny sky. That's perfect. That's good for your mind. But if you think, oh, everything is bad, and then you put cloud and a negative thought in your head, and that is the other food. Food the thought and real food for the body. and so it's important what we put in. If I do have a choice between diet and exercise, I would prefer diet, but I do both.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that was one of the things you talked about was, proper diet and diet for your body, diet for your mind. But you also mentioned something about how you studied, getting maximum speed, maximum power. What were some techniques or some exercises or the things that you did to really make your forms, like you said, original and stand out by, training those techniques?
Okay. Let me tell you one of the techniques that I share when I teach people. Okay. You gotta relax. Okay. If I put my hand out there and somebody asks me to let go and I still hold on, I cannot let go. So that's not relaxed. Okay. What I do is, let's say you have a TV. I can share it with the audience right now. If you have a TV, you have a small target in front of you. When the TV shut off the sound, and then anytime it changed frame because more than 30 frames per second, and then you strike, okay, and then you strike the target, and then when you see that thing change. The other technique that I use, when you blink the eye, you hit, and then before you open the eye, you're already done. That's my technique, and I can share that when I teach a seminar or something. So when you blink, when somebody blink, once they close their eye, you strike, and then when they open the eye, the strike should be there already. You already pull back, and that's how fast you have to be. And then, as you know, tricep and quadricep are more power and speed from there. So I train my bicep and tricep. So that's how I get the speed. And then I try to throw as many kicks and punches in a second. And then that's how you get speed. And as you know already, there are three kinds of speed: eye speed, mental speed, and physical speed. Okay, if you see it, your mind had to think about it, too late. Okay, when you see it, your mind and your body, your eyes, all as one is timing speed. And that's if you have to, if you see it, you don't have to think it, but your body doesn't move, and that's too slow. So all three have to be synchronized as one. Okay, it's very important. I use the word so you know exactly what to strike and where to do, and then it's important to have the good speed, and it's important to have the proper training with the right instructor to do that. Does it answer your question?
Yes, it does. Absolutely. Now, I want to go back to originality. You brought up, people like Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley. Some of the greatest of all time performers. What was your most original? What made you so original in your performances? What made you stand out so much above and beyond your competitors?
Okay, there's a combination of many things, and your image, your confidence, and your charisma, and on stage, I there are three different levels. One, when you're beginning, you have to be right there. You don't go to a ring and start, get your clothes and pull up your pants, and you should be doing. You're ready to go mentally, physically, and once you step in the ring, the beginning, boom, you catch the attention. It should be very fast and dynamic and get on, and in the middle, you become very strong. At the end, extraordinary strong, and keep my demonstration short because less chance for me to run out of air or make mistake. Okay, I always go to last, but the last part, and this is what you remember you the most, because they should be more dynamic, explosive, and then unforgettable movement, and you project yourself like that, and then when people want more, you stop, and that's one of my things. When people say like this, I say, "Oh, stop."
Right, keep them wanting more.
Yeah, they want more, I quit.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about how you broke into the movie industry, both behind the camera as a producer, on screen. How did that come about?
Well, first of all, I know this martial artist. His name is Grandmaster Rick Alamini, and he knows my background because he compete tournament too. Used to be, and my first movie was Killer Elite with James Caan. And then Sam Peckinpah was the director, and the writer. He later on he became my student, Sterling Sullivan. Where Bruce Lee was his teacher, but unfortunately he died later on, and then I continued to teach him. And he was in the Canton in Beverly Hills. He was taking private lesson for me, so I went there, and then I have to show the director Sam Peckinpah my own ability. I have to demonstrate to him that I'm real, because a lot of people just talk and no action, not the right action. So I just have to do it. And I was pretty young at the time, and I'm still young. I still feel young.
Well, in age young, how old were you when you started in the movie industry?
Movie industry was about 25 years old.
Wow.
I came later on, but I stopped competing October 1973.
Okay.
That was Joe Louis and fighting Steve Sander in Long Beach Arena.
Yep.
I won my division, grand champion, and I think Joe Louis won the other division fighting.
I was born in 1974, so I know a little bit of the history and the stories, but it was well before my time. My instructor, Dennis Ichikawa, trained with Chuck Norris, Pat Johnson, the Tongsudo lineage. And I have just heard so many stories, specifically the Long Beach Internationals, because being a California boy and living here, that was kind of the big tournament, right? That back in the day, that was bigger than anything else.
Yeah, Bruce Lee demonstrated at the same tournament 1964 and 67. You know about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Chuck Norris was fought in that tournament, and I know all these people, Chuck Norris and Cindy Crawford, Joe Louis. We're old timer, but I don't feel old, and because I'm continue to stay balanced, and I believe it's our job to be fit. You have to be fit, cardio, and I always believe if you learn how to hit, you have to learn how to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So healing becomes a very important part of my life now, and because my father, he owns 2 herb shops in Hong Kong. When I was in Hong Kong, so I was interested in that area for a long time. I do have a degree in the Reiki, and I try to study as many as possible, Western medicine, Eastern medicine. I'm not a doctor by all means, but I cannot advise anybody, but I'm interested. And because I've seen so many friends of mine, they're black belt and they're hurting, and then they joints hurting, they got arthritis, they got this problem, that problem. And so I think we all should have healing, the basic healing as a part of the curriculum along with the movements that we do.
Mm-hmm. Now, when did this become something that you showed interest in, or when did you start diving into this?
When I was in Hong Kong, 50s, I was interested in that before I became serious with martial art until I got chopped, and then I became very serious. Now I just try to relax and enjoy, and I've been blessed with good health, and I've been very lucky. And so a lot of people ask me, I just refer them to doctor. They might be able to help them, because I cannot, in America, I cannot just tell them. I can share with the people what I do, but I cannot tell them that they should do what I do, because there's a legal matter they have to look into.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do want to ask, if you could give some advice or just share with us some of the things that you think help you to stay as healthy as you continue to age. What are some daily practices, whether it be what you eat, how you exercise, stretching, meditation. What are things that you do on your daily routine that you think help give you longevity?
Good question. I can share with the people, the viewer, what I do. First of all, every morning for me, and you have to check in your doctor, your nutrition doctor, or whatever. And I take garlic. Okay, it helped me. It's antibiotic. Four cloves of garlic, and then lemon. Lemon balance my pH. My pH is balance, so I do that every morning. I put hot water, and I do that every single morning. And besides, there's no vampire.
No vampires.
No vampire. And then that keep my immunity strong. And then I do my routine. I'm a swimmer. We do have a pool, and I swim, and I go to jacuzzi, and I also ground myself by taking my shoes off, my socks off, into the grass. So I ground myself, and that time I meditate, and then sometimes I do healing sounds. That's why music, it becomes healing for me also. So that they have healing songs, and then I always believe we should let go. And I think about one of the big thing is how to handle stress. Most people, they do different. I cannot tell people what to do, but what I do is I learn to accept, and what I don't like, I'm okay with it. I learn to love it, and that way the stress or negativity doesn't go to my mind, and then I just let it go. And then I don't like to play politics. I like people, and I don't play politics. So I'm more like an ambassador for a lot of my friends and some of their fans, and then so they can get to you by neutralize. If you give power to the negativity, they're gonna control you. So just let it go. So we become more balanced. That's how I deal with it. Make it worse. I learn how to accept and what I don't like, and then learn how to love it. And that way, you're not giving your chi away. You're not giving your energy away, and they can get to you because if you believe everything on the bad news would go into your mind, and you just taking a lot of garbage thing in your head. What for? I don't see the point.
Right.
So I just let it go. And some people, prayer, I do believe in God, and I pray and I relax. I say, nothing can get to you if you believe that. It's hard to do, but you can do it. Everybody can do it. Just make up your mind. You can do it, and then you can do it.
Now, do you have any kind of afternoon, evening routines? Any things that you do, for sleep? You talked a lot about relaxing and de-stressing, but is there anything else you do throughout the rest of the day?
Face the fear. Okay, if you can sleep in 20 minutes, some people thinking they have monkey brain. You ever heard of monkey brain? They thinking so much they can't stop. Monkey brain. We call it monkey brain. So in that case, get up and go to a different room and do something different. Maybe you want to get tired, you may read a book, or you have idea, write it down on paper. You might forget next day. So I have a card called Discover. Okay, I like to discover what I don't know. So you learn. You always you grow to life instead of go through life. So since we're only camping here, and might as well learn to grow. And I don't believe in. I don't worry about success or fail, and I don't believe in the retire. Retire meaning tire and tire again. Tire twice. I don't see the point. And then so if you think you're tired, when you think about, I'm 60 years old, I'm 65 years old, your number is concerning your life force right now. So stop it. I don't worry about those things. Whatever will be, will be. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst mentally.
Yeah.
So it doesn't affect. You just do the best you can. Do the fact I write a book is not for me. It's share my experience to somebody might be interested. We are making a movie out of this book. I'm not in it, but it's a story of my life, and everybody have their own story to tell. And you can write book. You can write 10 books. Everybody have different book, and everybody have different shoes. You don't have time to walk into somebody's shoes all the time, but at least you know what he went through. So I just because I believe my myself, have a philosophy. I have my own interest, but somebody have their own interest. So therefore, except somebody else, I always think, even though you're on a diet, you can still read the manual.
Yep. Let's talk about this book. What prompted you to start writing the book? When did you start writing that book?
Well, this book is written a couple of years ago. It's from Amazon. Amazon published it, and I thought everybody read this book, and they thought it was amazing. So I thought it might be a good idea, and I gave this book to my friend, one of my friends, and then he said, "This is my vitamin for every day. I'm only read one page." So I told him, finish the book. If you're going to read one page a day, by the time you finish, I might lose all my teeth. Hurry up. So when did I start writing a book? We are writing new chapter every day because we experience new thing every day. And due to the fact what you and I have been communicate and talking, the information we exchange is the material can be in the book. Okay, so I liked everything. I like to create. I like to paint. There's painting in here, and I paint OK Corral right there. I have a picture, and I also paint other painting. I like to do that. I can write your name in Chinese.
Nice.
In the because that's my first language is right. Chinese. My father said I'm Chinese, so I believe him.
Well, you have other passions as well, and we talked a little bit about you like to sing, and you've written, I believe, 40 songs. Is that right?
No, I didn't written 40 songs. I recorded 40 songs.
Oh, you recorded. So how many have you written that haven't been recorded yet?
Only 2.
Okay. And when did that become is that something that you just enjoyed, throughout your life, and you took more of an interest in that passion?
Yeah. As you know, feeling for healing. I feel good when I sing, and some people, they like it. They can tell their friend. They don't like it. They can also tell a friend, Eric Lee sucks. He cannot sing. Forget it. I have no problem with that. No ego. And no matter what we do, some people kind of like it. Some people might not like it. So I accept that's true. That's the way it is. No matter what, it doesn't really matter. Whatever people think of me, I'm not going to worry about it because they can think what they want. It doesn't make any difference.
Keeps things a little.
You cannot stop people thinking. As you know, you and I know that we talk to ourselves all the time, and how we talk to ourselves, whether it's if we talk ourselves negative stuff all the time, and we keep on repeating the negativity, as far as I'm concerned, they never left. But if you think about, okay, it's a good thing. Let me tell you a story. This kind of off track a little bit. You don't mind?
We'll come back to it. Tell the story.
Okay, I tell you the story. About 25 years ago, there's 6 young men. I would call them young men. They were younger than me, and 25 years ago, they had no money, but they have vision. They want to. I was doing a lot of choreography for different movie, for Lorenzo Lama, for Diamonds and our friend and everything. So these people ask him, I want to interview you so these people said, well, it's going to cost you $10,000, $15,000, but people have no money. So after they told me the story, so I said, okay, I'll do it. I tell you what, I'll do it for free for you, just because I've been there, your position, exactly same. So a week later, send me a card. It says, with all the crumbling sidewalks of Hollywood Hills, we can still find beautiful roses. That was good enough for me. Today, they are being more successful, and I still have the card today, and that is rewarding for me. And I feel good that I can do that for them, because I know how difficult to get on to do what they want to do when you have no money to pay and they want to do this. It's like you want to teach, you want to learn martial art, but no place to go. It's hard. So you offer them. To me, it's like this. Okay, this kind of off. Before me, I have the light. I watch all the Kung Fu movie, German movie, and my father, and they gave me the light. They gave me the image that this is something I like. Okay, and then when I get the light, I train, I practice, and I can share the light to the next person, the next generation who was in the dark. And then when they get the light, they can share with next generation. It goes on forever. That's why we share our goodness to the people who didn't know, who didn't have it. So that's a legacy that we carry for us.
Well,
And they
and
continue.
that's exactly what we do in martial arts as martial arts instructors. That's what we do as fathers, as family. You know, we pass down the traditions, we pass down the memory, but you know, we also give opportunity. You know, every father, I think, wants their children to do better than they did. Every instructor wants their students to be able to go further than they ever went. So, you know, exactly what you're saying of shedding the light where someone sees the dark and opening their eyes to being able to have, you know, endless possibilities. I think that's, you know, I think that's just amazing. So, you know, again, you talk about legacy and you talk about, you know, people in your position. I mean, that's what takes a legacy and makes legends, right?
Right. May I tell you another story? Maybe the young people
Please
want to
do.
hear this. Well, maybe we learn from everybody. Let's face
Yes,
it.
sir.
Okay, we are
Yes, sir.
white belt with, we are totally white belt with everything we don't know. When we teach, when we share with other people, basically we are teaching ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's say um, somebody before us, they give us the shape. Okay, and then when we get a shape, we can give to the other people. The way we started, that what I think. Okay, you have a little seed you put on the ground. Okay, the seed put on the ground, and then you put fertilizer and sunshine and in the little seed, so this little seed becomes a big tree and open up like this. And then you put fence around it and you put them underneath your wing, make sure they don't get messed up and go to jail and get messed up. So when they get older, the parent die, like a teacher gone, and then the little tree becomes a big tree, and they can give shade to the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing we talked about the light earlier.
Right. Right.
So I think that's and so I appreciate that we understand the basic concept, and so I appreciate and I respect the people who gave me the light, and then I share with the people, the next generation. As you know, the student are the image of or the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna learn our attitude. They're gonna learn the movement. They watch what we eat. They watch everything. They were very
Mm-hmm.
observing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
especially teacher. So they are our student. I'm not teaching now, but our student or your family or your kids, your daughter, your son, whatever, they are the extension of you, extension of your chi.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to be a good a role model for some of the people, and I can only try. I messed up too, so I can learn and to correct myself.
That's right. Right. Well, and sometimes our mistakes and our failures are our best lessons.
Yes.
Right.
I have write down a couple of things here, and first of all, I hope they can get it from Kindle book or hard copy from Amazon. The Journey of an Artist, and thus that we will be doing a movie. And so far, the title of the movie is the same like the book, The Journey of an Artist. And then we talk about two kinds of diet. Okay, the mind and the body, what we put in, assimilation and elimination. And so make sure our system inside internally is running good, balance. And when we go to tune up the car, you balance the car, our body is the same thing. For my understanding. And then we talk about, if we learn how to hit, we have to learn how to heal. And then that is a big part. I like it because it's knowledge, and then I didn't have, and every day we're learning something. Everybody learning something, but I do learn from everybody. I learn from you. Okay.
Thank you.
And so I like singing because it creates a good state of mind. It's balanced. It's expressed from your own self. So it's therapeutic. And then we have what they call healing songs for different organs, and song for the heart, the lung, the kidney, the liver. So different song. So singing, hit that note, and due to the fact, we have 10 fingers. I hope everybody have 10 fingers, and then each finger represent different things. I'm not a doctor, so therefore I cannot, like this one here, the thumb is the lung meridian. This one is large intestine. When you put it together, we call mudra, is meditation pose. And the middle finger, a lot of people call them the bird. Actually, it's not the bird. It's pericardium. It's pericardium. It's the cover of the heart. The ring finger, according to what I understand, is what they call triple warmer. Upper body, lung and heart. Middle body, digestive and reproductive. They call the ring finger. Small intestine, this one here. But I cannot recommend or tell people what to do, and they should consult a doctor, certified doctor, and learn from them, and they can tell you. Okay. And then I know this, when you relax your mind, when you relax, your chi will flow, and your chi flows, you heal your body. So I think mentally we should, for me anyway, continue to have a happy mode. Okay. And then so everything is going to change anyway. That nothing is permanent except changes. I guarantee you.
The only thing that's consistent is that we consistently change, right?
Everything will change. And when we're young, we're baby. Now we got older. You start to wrinkle. That's appropriate for our age. That's okay. I'm accept that. If you don't like it, it's going to stress you out. What for? Just accept it. That's okay.
Well, I'm working on accepting it and accepting the no hair thing too.
Actually, there's it's okay. A lot of actors and famous actors, they have no hair. So be proud of yourself that you have no hair.
Listen, The Rock doesn't have hair. Jason Statham doesn't have hair, so we're good.
Yeah, Jason Statham. Yeah.
Well, listen, sir. We are at the end of our time here today, and I appreciate just sharing the time with you and having this conversation with you and learning more about you and allowing you to share your story and experience. And I'm looking forward to reading your book and hopefully seeing the movie when the movie comes out. So keep us posted on how that goes.
My friend in Las Vegas, they produce a movie. It's I don't want to but he got some famous actor in it, and then Mel Gibson is in it, and then the movie is called a Boneyard. Maybe it will come out. Check it out. And then I'm going to be directing some comedy. I'm really good at comedy. I do understand the economy, and I happen to have chance to meet a lot of people in the past. I work with. I met just about everybody, and my favorite for the tough bad guy would be he's a good guy too. Clint Eastwood. I happen to know Jackie Chan, all these guys, and it's they're all good. Everything is good, and you do your best. And just may I say something?
Yes, you may. Go ahead.
We all have dreams and hopes what we want to do, but we have to take action. So far, I would say a turtle never goes anywhere unless he sticks his neck out. You have to take action to get the result. We can do it, and everybody can do it. It's just a matter of you. You don't think you can do it, then you won't do it, and so you don't do it.
Right.
There's no result.
Well, thanks for sharing all of that today. Thanks again for being on the show. Really appreciate you. If you can hang out for about 60 seconds, I'm going to wrap up with a video here and thank everybody for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please share it and also subscribe on YouTube at Master Motivation Podcast. And as Mr. Lee said, I think something that we can end this with is if you have a dream and you have a goal, take action. Take action today. All right, Mr. Lee, thank you so much, and we'll see you real soon.
Thank you. Thank you.